Hello and welcome to the channel. Memories of Childhood by Jitkala Sa and Bama. The chapter Memories of Childhood presents autobiographical accounts of two women, Jitkala Sa, a Native American writer, and Bama, a Tamil Dalit writer, both of whom faced discrimination and oppression in their childhood. Part 1. The Cutting of My Long Hair by Jitkala Sa. Jitkala Sa, a Native American girl, recounts her painful experience at a boarding school where Native children were forced to abandon their cultural identity. On her first day at the school, she feels overwhelmed by the strict discipline, unfamiliar customs, and constant noise. The biggest shock comes when she learns that her long hair will be cut, which in her culture is a sign of mourning or cowardice. Despite her resistance, she is forcibly dragged out of her hiding place, tied to a chair, and her hair is cut. This traumatic event symbolizes the loss of her identity and the oppressive nature of forced assimilation. Part 2. We Too Are Human Beings by Bama. Bama, a Tamil Dalit girl, narrates an incident from her childhood when she witnessed an elder from her community carrying a food packet to a landlord in a degrading manner by holding it with a string to avoid polluting the upper caste man. Initially finding it amusing, she later learns from her elder brother, Anand, that this act was a reflection of untouchability. Feeling deeply hurt and angry, she resolves to fight against caste discrimination through education. Encouraged by her brother, she studies hard and excels in her class, proving that knowledge can empower and uplift marginalized communities. Now, in details. The chapter Memories of Childhood includes two autobiographical extracts, one by Jitkala Sa, a Native American writer, and other by Bama, a Tamil Dalit writer. Both describe painful experiences of discrimination and oppression they faced as children. In part 1, The Cutting of My Long Hair by Jitkala Sa. Jitkala Sa's arrival at the school. Jitkala Sa, a Native American girl who was taken to a boarding school run by white people. She found everything strange, the rigid discipline, the unfamiliar language, and the harsh rules. She didn't like the way things were done there. Fear of haircut. One day she heard from another girl that the school authorities would cut their long hair. This was a big shock for Jitkala Sa because in her Native American culture, long hair was a symbol of dignity and strength. Only prisoners or cowards had their hair cut short. She did not want this to happen to her, so she decided to hide. Forced haircut. She crawled under a bed and stayed there quietly, hoping no one would find her. But soon the school staff discovered her hiding place. She was dragged out, carried to a chair, and forcibly held down. She cried and struggled, but they cut her hair. This was a very painful moment for her because she felt humiliated and powerless. Symbol of oppression. This incident deeply hurt Jitkala Sa. She felt like her identity and culture were being taken away. She realized that Native American children like her were being forced to follow the ways of white people without any respect for their traditions. Part 2, We Too Are Human Beings by Bama. Bama's innocent childhood. Bama is a Tamil Dalit girl grew up in a small village in South India. As a child, she enjoyed walking home from school, watching the sights and sounds of the marketplace. She loved watching street performances, stalls selling snacks, fruit vendors, and other interesting activities. She would often take much longer to reach home because she stopped to look at everything. The incident with the food packet. One day, as she was returning home, she saw something strange. An elderly man from her street was carrying a small packet of food. Instead of holding it in his hands, he held it by a string, making sure not to touch it. She found this very funny and laughed as she told her brother about it. The bitter truth. Her elder brother, Anand, explained that the man was from their Dalit community and was taking the packet to a rich landlord from the upper caste. Since Dalits were considered untouchable, they were not allowed to touch food meant for upper caste people. If they did, the upper caste people believed it would be polluted. This is why old man had to carry the packet in such a humiliating manner. Realization and determination. This made Bama very sad and angry. She realized that her community was treated unfairly and was denied respect. She questioned why her people had to do such tasks for others and why they were not treated as equals. The power of education. Her brother told her that the only way to fight against this discrimination was through education. He encouraged her to study well so that people would respect her. His words had a deep impact on Bama. She worked very hard in her studies and became the top student in her class. As a result, many people began treating her with respect. Themes of the chapter: discrimination and injustice. Both Jitkalasa and Bama faced discrimination, one due to her Native American identity and the other because of her Dalit background. Loss of identity. Jitkalasa's forced haircut symbolized the erasure of her cultural identity, while Bama's realization of caste discrimination showed the social exclusion of her community. Resistance and strength. Jitkalasa resisted the cutting of her hair, and Bama decided to fight caste discrimination through education. The importance of education. Bama's story highlights that knowledge and education can help marginalized communities gain respect and equality. This chapter shows how discrimination can deeply affect children and how education and self respect can help overcome oppression.